Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. You can come up now. It's okay. It's okay. It wasn't that bad. Come on. The sky was not falling. Come on, it wasn't that bad. Oh, really? Really? You thought the whole house was going to fall apart? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was just a little storm. Tell you what. Why don't you? Little storm we had before the show. Here. No, we're still alive. Everything's fine. Okay, why don't you go outside and look for survivors? Okay, that's a good idea because you never know. You never know. That's springtime. Gotta love it. Greetings, fellow YouTuber. My name is Tim. Welcome to an hour of your life you'll never get back again. This is this wonderful little slop fest we like to call GainerWorld Live. My name is Tim Gainer, if you haven't figured it out yet. And if you have, well, I'm really, really sorry. But this is what we do. This is our weekly show of fun and frolic and, just generally wasting time and enjoying ourselves. We let our hair down for an hour and just talk amongst ourselves and just talk about stuff and things and just try to make each other smile for about an hour. If that's our little place in history and the internet, then why not? We do, by the way, if you want to join in, we have this groovy little chat bot right here. And again, I'm doing the pistol thing. Kidding, I swear to God, I'll kill you for showing me that. Just one of those things that you just can't get rid of, But, we do have that right there. As you can tell, Gary from the Incredible Edibles has joined us this evening. And we're always glad that he's coming along. Always glad to see you there, my friend. And if you are new to our little clam bake, then by all means, join us. Just come on in and let us know where you're from. Say hi to everybody. And we'll be doing our best to harass you in every way that we know how. Because that's what we do. But, it was kind of funny because I actually thought to myself that this was, how can I say this? This was a very slow week in terms of just like weird stories and, the way that we do it on our show. If you've ever seen our show in the past, then you know that we look for stuff that's of, current interest, or we look for stuff that, we like to talk about, or just weird news or stuff in general. We stay away from, I know what's happening out in the world, okay? Believe me. But that's not what this show is about. This show is about just kind of relaxing and just talking amongst ourselves and just generally having a good time. So, and that's why we encourage you, come on into the chat. We'd love to talk to you. And if there's something that's on your mind, we'd love to hear from you as well. But right before we went on the air, we had a bulletin. That's right, a bulletin coming into the newsroom. If you are a fan of sports entertainment, professional wrestling, whatever it is that they're calling it this week. And it's serious because, yes, that's right, the glasses are coming out, ladies and gentlemen. So that this is hard-hitting journalism at its best when I tell you that Paul Levesque, otherwise known as Hunter Helmsley, otherwise known as Triple H, the cerebral assassin, he said tongue-tied, The Game, the King of Kings, WWE superstar and CEO of talent acquirement for World Wrestling Entertainment, one of the best-known professional wrestling stars of the last several decades, according to ESPN, will not perform in the ring again. He told this to Stephanie A. Smith on ESPN's First Take earlier today. Now, I know that there's not a lot of people that are into professional wrestling. And there's some that are into it that's just because, it was something that they grew up with. I have to admit, I'm entertained by this stuff. I really am. And it was kind of a family tradition for the Gainers. When my boys were growing up, their mother would just think it just a sin and an abomination that they should watch this terrible, terrible violence on television. So when she'd go out to work at night or go to visit her mother or whatever the case may be, of course, we'd, sneak in on TV and we'd laugh all over the place. And yes, we were, if you're a fan of WWE, you remember the Attitude Era. You remember the Ruthless Aggression Era and all that stuff. And Triple H was one of those guys. He was the guy, as a matter of fact. One of the biggest names, as they say. But he apparently he spoke again to Stephen A. Smith on First Take this morning. And he talked about it. Apparently, he went into heart failure last September following a bout with viral pneumonia. And there were moments that they weren't sure if he was going to make it. But he did say, as of this morning, I will never wrestle again. First of all, I have a defibrillator, he said tongue-tied, in my chest, which, probably is not a good idea for me to get zapped on live TV, which is true. Talk about life imitating art. That's it. He's dead. So yeah, he said that he was suffering from viral pneumonia in September, and his wife, who by the way is Stephanie McMahon, who is the daughter of Vince McMahon, who owns WWE. How convenient. He noticed that he was coughing up blood. Wow. He went into the hospital and doctors discovered fluid in his lungs around his heart. He said the doctors told him that his heart was working at a fraction of full strength and that he was in bad heart failure. Now take a look at this guy and how can he not be healthy? Old Paul, or Trips, as he's called, I was and this is a quote now, again from ESPN, I was nosediving and sort of at the 1 yard line of where you don't want to be really for your family and your future. There's moments in there when they're putting you out for stuff and you think, is this it? Do you wake up from this? That's tough to swallow, and that makes you think differently. Man. I mean, everybody knew that he was sick, but I didn't think he was that sick. Man, that's wild. His last match was in Tokyo back in 2019, but his last televised match was a couple of weeks earlier in June, where he went up against Randy Orton in Saudi Arabia during, what was that? Greatest Showdown or Saudi Showdown or whatever that weird little special was. But he is currently an executive with WWE and the head of the promotion's developmental brand, NXT. But that's it. Hail and farewell to the King of Kings, because he ain't wrestling no mo. Paul Levesque, Triple H, the cerebral assassin, the game, the king of kings, and WWE Hall of Famer. Well, I'm partly a Hall of Famer because he was in the Hall of Fame in 2019 with a group that he headed up in the 90s, D-Generation X, which was funny, which was a funny group if you're into this at all. As far as his accolades go, he was a 5-time World Heavyweight Champion, a 5-time WWE Intercontinental Champion, and the winner of 2 Royal Rumble matches. So, yeah, he's one of the most successful wrestlers, at least in the 2000s. And, yeah, I guess doesn't matter how healthy you are. Anything can come along and get you. So, yeah, we'll see more. We'll see more from Triple H, but just not in the capacity that we want to. Do you follow professional wrestling at all? Like I said, me and my boys, we enjoy the heck out of it. We'll watch, some of the current promotions. We'll watch WWE. We'll watch AEW. And if you know anything about sports entertainment, let us know in the chat. Let us get right there. Don't follow wrestling, says Gary, and that's cool. I understand that. It's not for everyone. I will say that it is an acquired taste. It truly is an acquired taste. But once you're into it, you're very well hooked. One of the things that I always enjoyed was every once in a while, Chris King, our occasional guest co-host. He used to watch it occasionally back in the 2000s during the Attitude Era and during the Ruthless Aggression Era, and so we'll watch past past matches, as will my boys. But we didn't watch it for the actual wrestling per se. We would critique the moves. We would critique the choreography between the wrestlers. And you'd hear my boys at young ages going, no, he botched that. Yeah, no, he hit that wrong. That's going to sting. So they weren't really into the storylines as they were the choreography, which I was too, and I still am, to be honest with you. It's corny. I won't lie to you. It's corny stuff. But at the same time, it's like, to do what those men and women do, I have to say this, to do what those men and women do, they are some of the best stunt men and women you could possibly find anywhere. You can do the Hollywood stuff, and that's fine. You can throw yourself out of airplanes and everything like that. These people literally put their bodies on the line, and they do it repeatedly, sometimes 4 or 5 nights a week, in front of 25,000 people. Which in itself is weird. Why would you want to throw yourself out of a perfectly good ring and land on concrete for the sake of entertainment? But these people do it. And my hats are off to them. My hats are off to them for it. It really is something different altogether that I really admire them for. And in fact, if you don't believe me, WrestleMania weekend coming up next weekend. Yeah, sure. It'll be great on the Peacock Network. If you have Peacock, by all means, click in WWE. The most stupendous 2-night excursion in sports entertainment history. Don't you forget that. So that's happening. And that was kind of a shame that we found out about that right before we went on. The thing about Plopsy earlier, I gotta love it here in Chicago. I really do. It's true what they say. I know other towns use this statement, but we use this statement probably more than anybody. If you don't like the weather in Chicago, stick around 30 minutes. Especially in the springtime. Springtime in Chicago, in the great city of Chicago, is some of the weirdest stuff that you could ever want to imagine. It's 70 one hour, and it's 40 the next. And today, about maybe an hour before we went on the air, in March, it starts hailing. No reason. Wasn't raining. Wasn't getting colder or anything like that. It just started hailing. I mean, granted, it was like, little pea size or, wasn't anything major, but it was weird. It was just weird. And once again, the weather in the great city of Chicago never lets me down. Why do I stay here? I don't know. I stay here because, well, number one, I was born here. And number two, the housing market here is just out of control. Is it like that by you? Let me know. Talk to me in the comments. If you're watching the replay, hit me up with the comments down below. I probably shouldn't say this. In fact, I'm sure I shouldn't say this. But ever since I moved into the GainerWorld International Complex here in Chicago, I bought, obviously, this groovy little place that I've got. And the market. I was talking about this with my assistant earlier today, that I could sell this place tomorrow at its current market price, sell this thing off in full, and still have enough money for a really nice downstroke on a bigger place. I think the value of property in the Chicago area has gone up maybe 5-6%, which isn't bad. It doesn't sound like a whole heck of a lot, but for the broke ass kid in Chicago, it's quite a bit. So yeah, that's why I'm hanging around here. Just thought I'd share that for whatever reason. So what's going on out there? Let me, come and talk to me. Like I said, if you are, I gotta stop doing that. Go here. Talk to me here. Okay? Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. Again, spring coming, which means that as we're getting down to the end of March into April, baseball season coming. Are you ready? Are you ready for some baseball? I know I'm not. When I was a kid, I loved playing. I loved playing baseball. I loved watching baseball. I was an ardent follower of the Chicago Cubs, which was a very painful situation. Allow me to explain. Here in this city, we have some very strange cultures. Great town, but it's a weird culture. You've got the north side, you've got the south side, and you got the west side. There's not really an east side, because if you go too far east, you end up in the lake. But if you were a South Sider, you were a White Sox fan. If you were a North Sider, you were a Cubs fan. Now, I was born and raised on the South Side. I am dyed in the wool South Side Irish Catholic from Chicago. Okay? But my father, who was originally from downstate, somehow turned out to be a Cubs fan. And that can be a really dangerous situation for a kid living on the South Side. Because quite honestly, the Southsiders, who were the White Sox, and the Northsiders, who were the Cubs, were fierce rivals. Even though you're from the same city, You White Sox fan? No, for the Cubs. Boo! Boo! That's just how it was. And if you're a baseball fan, I go back to the days, when you talk about the Cubs, you talk about the great infield, especially from, that season of 1969, where you had Ron Santo and Glenn Becker and the great Ernie Banks, Ferguson Jenkins, Billy Williams, Randy Huntley. Just an incredible team. But these days, you had to wait for them to finish binding arbitration before you can even find out when opening day was going to be? Really, guys? What happened to the love of the sport? You'd have starting pitchers that'd go out there and pitch all 9 innings. And if you needed him if you needed him 2 days later, well, by God, there he was out on the mound. He's got blisters the size of cantaloupes and his left arm may be falling off, but he was out there. Now you've got these guys that are, oh, well, I'm only good for about 5 innings. Nope, I got a wicked slider, I got a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but after 4 innings, I'm just shot. And for this, they won $100 million over 5 years. I know I sound like an old man. I know I sound like a disgruntled old man, but I just can't see it. I really can't see it. I'm sorry, I've never been able to see it, and yeah. So, but if you're into baseball, let me know. Who do you think's going to take it all this year? Will there be a World Series this year? Who knows? We'll find out. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and we'll take care of this. We'll do this real fast. I played this a few weeks ago, and I had this on my mind. Pardon me. I played this, I don't know, several weeks ago, but for some reason it kind of popped up in my head earlier today. And somebody said, "What are you going to play tonight? You never plan anything. What are you going to play? Play something nice." So I will. We'll try this old Eagle song. Seems like a dream now, was so long ago. The words left the sidewalk, the bus went so slow, and I swore that I loved her and gave her a ring. Bluebird was high on the wing. Whatever happened to Saturday night, finding a sweetheart and holding her tight? She said, "Tell me, oh tell me, was I alright? Whatever happened to Saturday night?" The years grow rovers and dust on the door. Now there's birds on the sidewalk and dust on the floor, and she passes the time at another man's side, and I pass the time with my pride. What a tangled web we weave, oh, round with circumstance. Someone show me how to tell the dancer from the dance. Whatever happened to Saturday night? Choosing a friend and losing a fight. She said, tell me, are you alright? Whatever happened to Saturday night? Whatever happened to Saturday night? Yeah, that I for some reason thought about that song. And the Desperado album, man, 1972. Always liked playing that song. Might be playing that this summer as we go out and hit the road again. A lot of people asking, okay, so what is the deal with that? Well, right now, as it stands, we're gonna be out on the road. Olympia, Washington, here we come. July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, Hugs Fest coming up, and then we're gonna be playing what's turning out to be the final. It sounds like Homegrown Fest in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, on August 13th, I believe that's going to be. August 10th, rather. I'm sorry, August 10th. Was invited to that, and very nicely, it turned out that it's going to be the last one. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you're looking forward to it as well. All the information at timgainer.com. Go check that out, won't you please? Speaking of checking things out, again, I said that this was this is one of those shows because, like I said, not really a lot happened this week, which is a good thing. It's nice that we can all be able to maybe just kick back and just do a whole lot of nothing. But a couple of things happened. Just today. I mean, this is just one of those, the show's going to write itself kind of things. I had somebody get on my Facebook page today. And this was an incredibly innocent question. Hey, Tim, what were these for? Now I'm just going to leave this picture up here for a second. And I'm going to let you draw your own conclusions on this. What you are looking at are, I guess, a little piece of it's a piece of nostalgia from the 60s and the 70s. Anybody who during that time went to McDonald's and drank coffee knows what these are. These are actually stirrers, or, as they say out east, stirrers for coffee. People would use these things for putting sugar. They would take the little packets of sugar and maybe put them in the spoon or, the little flap thing. And we'll get to that in a minute. And they would stir their coffee with it. And by looking at this, Gary's saying that these are cooking utensils for the munchkins in Oz. Yeah, that too. But actually, there were a little bit more than that. Because it turns out now, if you take a real close look at these, somebody got the bright idea. You see the spoon over there on the right. That was the original. That was the original coffee spoon, if you will, that McDonald's actually put out. And yes, Gary, you're right. And I'm not going to show that answer until after I get done with this. But somebody got the idea that, hey, maybe these take too much plastic to mold. And these things cost money. So the ones on the left were the ones that replaced them in the 80s. And Gary pretty much hit it on the head here, and we'll show it to you in the chat. That they were white powder utensils. Back in the early to mid 80s, somebody got the bright idea that, hey, you know what we can do with these? We can use these as Coke spoons for cocaine. And, of course, McDonald's coffee became all the rage for a little while in the 80s. And, and then somehow somebody got hip to this and went, no, we can't do these anymore. And McDonald's literally discontinued these coffee stirrers. Both kinds. You can't get them anymore. Now you get them in the usual, little red and white, tiny little straws that disintegrate in the coffee when you're trying to stir them. Or actually, no, I guess these days, because of COVID, they'll actually put the cream and sugar in for you, which is nice. I personally don't agree with that because I'm one of those people that, and everybody around me knows it, and it's my little way of disgusting everybody. I like a little coffee with my sugar. Okay? When I pull out a cup of coffee, okay, you can guarantee there's a little bit of cream and a little bit of coffee. The rest of it's sugar. Why? Because I don't like the taste of coffee. But I had to learn to like coffee. I had to learn because I had to get up fast and I had to get moving because I had a family and a job and blah, 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 blah. So I do not drink coffee. I do not drink coffee for the taste. Liz Jekyll puts it at 18 packets of sugar. Yeah. I didn't know you were keeping count. Gary says, coffee is my addiction. Many cups per day. Yeah, I'm not that way. I mean, I can do one. I'll do a cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe two if I'm like tired. And really, I do coffee here on the show when I'm broadcasting because it just kind of keeps my level up. Because obviously, throughout the day, compiling stuff and getting the show ready and everything like that. So you get a little drained by about 4 o'clock. So, I do a cup of coffee to keep things moving. And yeah, like I said, I do, but I'm the same way. I really am. I agree with you completely. Coffee is my heroin. Starbucks coffee is my heroin. Specifically, Starbucks French roast. I have bags of it downstairs. And yes, 14 cups today so far. Seriously. Whoa, dude. Seriously. Wow. Dude, I got an 800 number for you if you need it. There's people that will gladly talk to you about such matters. Liz says his car stops for Starbucks. Better believe it. They made the mistake of putting a Starbucks in a Target that that we've been known to frequent. And yeah, and it's right by the exit. Okay, so it's kind of like you're walking out and you see this thing and you're going, boy, yeah, a cup of coffee would be really good. And I feel somebody grabbing on my collar, just going, come on, let's go. No, just for a minute. Sometimes I win. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, Gary, I mean, that's great, dude. Some people are down like that. I used to be, but I just can't do it anymore. But one of the reasons why, or entrance, depending upon how you enter. Yeah, that's true too. Entrance, exit, whichever. Now the reason that I brought up the spoons, it's a Seattle thing. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. In fact, Lewis Black, who is, if you don't know him, he's a brilliant comedian. And he said something that I really loved. He said, I found the end of the earth. The end of the earth is in Seattle, Washington. There's a street in Seattle, Washington. And on that street, at the corner, is a Starbucks. Across the street from that Starbucks is another Starbucks. Now, I don't know how many people would walk out of the Starbucks going, gee, that was a great Frappuccino. Let's say we go across the street and wash that down with a nice caramel macchiato. But that makes sense to me because it's Seattle. And I never really think about that because Seattle's like coffee city. Just like Chicago's pizza city, Seattle is coffee city. I get it. But getting back to these fine things. I saw these. There's a Starbucks inside another Starbucks. Dude, don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. I'll move into the place. I really will. I'll just walk in with a Coleman stove and a sleeping bag and just go, that's it. I'm home. So spoonage. Let's talk McDonald's spoonage here for a second, shall we? Now, as I said, in the 80s, they kind of they made these things obsolete, which of course was frowned upon by many a cokehead. To the point where, and I looked this up and I found this to be true. This is absolutely true. This is a listing on eBay. And if you can see it on your screen, I don't have to add any more explanation. But if you can't, it is a single McDonald's spoon. Not the coffee stirrer, not the flat thing that people used to, cut 8 balls with. But the actual coffee spoon that is being sold for almost $900. Some fool seems to think that he's going to be able to sell a plastic spoon for $900. But what would be even funnier is if somebody actually did buy it for let the bidding start at $8.99. You know what I'm saying? $1,200 and more for a plastic McDonald's spoon. Yeah, but it's free shipping. There you go. Oh, No, it's actually local pickup. But hey, who's complaining, right? If you're doing that much coke, where you're going to spend $900, where you can afford to spend $900 for a plastic spoon, yeah, you can walk there. You probably jog. What the heck? Why not? Yeah. Oh, nostalgia. One more thing that did come up, and again, like I said, this is one of these shows where it just kind of wrote itself. Because it was Friday, the assistant and myself, we're hanging, we're doing our thing, working, doing what it is that we do. And in the background, we had that fine piece of television journalism known as The View. Now, if you're not from the States, you don't know what The View is. The View is a group of women who actually talk about the news. We'll talk about the top news stories of the day. And one of the subjects that came up was about, and again, it's serious. If it was good enough for Joy Behar and Anna Navarro, it's good enough for our show, by God. But I want to talk about this because, guys, we got lambasted today. We got lambasted. We got done wrong. According to Men's Health magazine, there is now a male contraceptive pill that has been found to be 99% effective in mice with no observable side effects. This article in Men's Health magazine says, and I quote, a team of scientists said Wednesday they had developed a male oral contraceptive that was 99% effective in mice and didn't cause observable side effects, with the drug expected to enter human trials by the end of the year. The findings will be presented to the American Chemical Society's spring meeting and mark a key step toward expanding birth control options as well as responsibilities for men. Now, I thought to myself when, they were talking about this, I went, yeah, that's a cool idea. That's, there's nothing wrong with that. And the good ladies of The View proceeded to slam the male species because, they won't take it because they don't take any responsibilities. And no, it has nothing to do with them. Yeah. So they came up with they came up with the three options that are now that were available. Gary says those tiny pills are for mice. How big then would the pill be for a person? No. I'm sure that was just an example. But, when it comes to contraception, I mean, let's face it. Guys only have really two basic options when it comes to birth control. There's condoms, obviously. And there's vasectomy. Those are really the only two options. So suddenly you've got this third option that is presented. And the women are going, no, they won't do it. They won't do it. I pose it to you. Let me hear about it in the comments, or let me hear about it in the chat. Let me hear about it in the comments down below if you're watching the replay. If you're a guy, if there was a male birth control pill, would you take it? So I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I usually slam down a handful of vitamins. I have, all of, the one a day and the vitamin B and all that good stuff. And to take one more pill would be nothing. Not that I don't have to worry about it these days, mind you. But, because that stuff ain't happening. Gary says he would. Okay. There is a side effect. And the side effect, I guess, is because of the fact that when you take it, when administered, according to Men's Health magazine, when administered orally to mice for 4 weeks, the pill, the chemical known as YCT529, drastically reduces sperm count and was 99% effective in preventing pregnancy. So that's that's what's up. There's no guarantee that it'll work. According to one spokesman, but they would be really surprised if we didn't see an effect in humans as well. So, I guess the whole thing is, Gary says, I wouldn't. I can't get pregnant. You don't know that, Gary. You don't know that. But, so it's like... So now there's the possibility that men can actually take responsibility for pregnancy even further. And from what I heard today, the women are lambasting this. At least the women of The View. Now, I'm not saying the women of The View are the most intelligent people on the planet. Would you do it for the love of your life? The quick answer is yes. Yes. If it was a case of, okay. And the way they broke it down was like this, what are the options for guys? Condoms, which changes the experience. Vasectomy, where anytime you mention that, talking about taking anything sharp to the family jewels is just like an And now there's a possibility of a pill. A possibility of a daily pill. I think given out of the 3 choices, I think that's a pretty doggone good choice. Because I, too, don't believe in anything sharp heading towards little Timmy and his pals, if you know what I mean. So the quick answer from Liz is, would you do it for the love of your life? Yeah. Would your boys do it? Well, that I don't know. That I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Because something like that, obviously, when it comes to birth control, that's obviously a very, it's a very, very personal choice. The only difference between myself and the rest of the world is I am here on the internet once a week, and I'm out in public, and I don't care what people think of me, so I just say what's on my mind. But Gary says, sounds like something that you should be taking at the same time as your Viagra. Well, then you're getting to something completely different, okay? That's kind of subjective, But, it depends upon all parties involved. Let me put it to you that way. See, I have to be really careful with this conversation due to the fact that we are on YouTube. And if the YouTube bots hear something that's out of line, the next thing I know, I'm getting emails from some automated bot going, we're going to have to suspend you. So, yeah. But, it's, I think it's a great idea, and it's going to be out by next year. And yeah, I'd do it. So yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in the chat before we go off the air. The male contraceptive pill. Would you guys take it? Is that a suitable? Is that a suitable option besides going under the knife, or, you know, like Robbie Rubber says, wrap that rascal? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And again, if there's anything else that you want to talk about, by the same token, please, by all means, right there. I gotta stop doing that. I gotta stop doing that. It's getting ridiculous. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know in the chat what's going on. Because we're going to be taking a lot of suggestions and using them for... It is a slow news day. You're absolutely right about that. It was a slow news day. And that's a good thing sometimes. That's a good thing. Because, number one, not only does it keep me from running around like a nut every Thursday and Friday, because those are my busiest days. The rest of the week, I'm dealing with hug stuff, and then the rest of the week, I try to make this somewhat coherent. Take me out to the ball game. Stop it. Not gonna play take me. No, I'm not going to play hugs and kisses either. I tell you what, between you and Amu City, I don't know where you guys are coming up with this stuff. Another thing that happened, that I just now thought about, and we need to get more information on this, was those of that over the weekend, Sunday is the Oscars, the Academy Awards, presented by the National Academy of Recording of Arts and Science, Movie Arts and Sciences. More coffee? No, I don't know. Yeah, I need more coffee. Yeah, I need more coffee. The Oscars are this weekend, presented by the Motion Picture Academy. Does anybody care anymore? I mean, really, does anybody care anymore? And to try to get people, again, one of these media smoking clubs. So the Movie Academy went, well, we need to get some hosts back on the show because they haven't had one in several years. Somebody thought it was a good idea to just not have any hosts or master of ceremonies. And, yeah. So this year they've got, I can only think of two right off the top of my head. Amy Schumer and Wanda Sykes. Privileged white girl, radical black lesbian. Yeah, tell me they're not picking on both sides of the fence. I don't know who the third one is. I can't remember who the third one is. But they'll be the hapless lackey of the group. Although I did hear, pardon me, that who was it? Bill Murray is supposed to be one of the presenters. That could be funny. If they let him. Because again, political correctness is all around us. So it's like nothing's funny anymore. And if you try to be funny, people will either troll you on the internet or just sue you. Kind of surprised nobody's coming after me after, a year and a half? Then again, look in my audience. Have you seen the subscriber count? I mean, come on. Which reminds me, we are so close. Guys, we were so close. We were this close to 100 subscribers. I think we're at 96. We need 4 more. 4 more. This many. And I know, it means nothing in YouTube land, but, it's a personal plateau. It's a great ego killer for me, okay? So if you are new here and you're watching this for the first time, please, go down there, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. One thing I did not know was that roll your family and friends, please. What? Tell your family and friends. I was going to say. Family and friends. That's right, Raggy. Speed spelling. It's really a drag when you're on the internet, I realize. Especially when the chat's on slow. But yeah, no, really, let people know. If you're new to this, number one, thank you for hanging around to this little slop fest we do every week. Number two, hope we see you back here next week. And number three, tell your friends and like and subscribe and hit the bell. And yeah, and I won't get one of those cool, like, silver things from YouTube. Like, they might send me a cardboard box or something. Who knows, It would make me so happy. I'm a man of simple means. Okay? Just do it. I'm so low. Oh my God. Yeah. Talk about male contraception. Really? Okay, come on now. Come on. Do we really need to mention my age? Do we really, really need to? Remember what I said about trolls? Just saying. But in any case. So yeah, please do that. And should we mention anything about the Oscars next week? I really don't want to, be honest with you. Really don't care anymore. Unless somebody decides, like, start a fist fight on the stage. Now that'd be really cool. That would at least give me something to talk about. But, people are going, you like me, you really like me. No, I really don't. And I haven't seen any. No, I take that back. I did see one movie. I got to see Being the Ricardos. I did get to see that when I was in Pennsylvania. That was and it was a good movie. It really was. But it's just kind of weird, to be really honest with you. No Oscars, more music. There you go. I got a brand new pair of roller skates. Oh, well, I've got a brand new key. You see what I did there? Choking on my own words. In the meantime, that tells us that the clock on the wall has fallen off, run away from home, and is not coming back. So therefore, let's go ahead and we'll just close this up right about here. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much for doing so. Like I said, like, subscribe, hit the bell. It'll get us that closer to play some puppy love. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Wear the damn mask. Get the damn shot. We're almost there. No, we're not getting a new variant from China. I don't want to hear about it, okay? And even if we are, we're near herd immunity, so don't worry about it. Just keep doing that, and we can all get back to a normal life, okay? So please, by all means, do that. Wear the damn mask, like I said. Get the damn shot. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We'll be back here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. Right here on this very piece of bandwidth. And like I said, if you like it, like, subscribe, hit the bell. In other words, if you like it, hey, you know what to do. We'll see you next week. We out. Peace.